Hi, this is Carrie with Carrie's Classroom Creations, and today we're going to continue working with texture. And one of the things that my students learned about this week was the artist Vincent van Gogh. They looked at a couple of his Impressionist paintings, and they learned about how using texture makes something look like it can have movement. And so this week they're going to be, or I want you guys to do a recreation of Starry Night and practice using a lot of, or exhibit using a lot of texture for the different elements in the painting. So right now I'm going to kind of show you the basic, how to do your basic Starry Night of my expectations, and then I'm going to show you guys today. I'm going to be using the Marabou art crayons and water to make kind of like a watercolor, and then I can use oil pastels to create my textures. If you don't have these materials, that's okay. You can use crayons, colored pencils, paint. If you want to recreate this using the elements outside like we did with our nature art, then that's okay too. So right now what we're going to do is, I've kind of already sketched this out, but I am just drawing kind of a big cypress tree in the left side of my paper, and it's just mainly like a wiggly line, okay? I want to have a horizon line. And then in Starry Night, this is all the sky. This is like rolling hills, and down here is a little town. So I'm going to kind of add a second horizon line that I can do kind of different colors. If you want to look at Starry Night and you want to actually put little houses and do a town, absolutely do that. I'm not going to. I'm just going to paint with my basic colors and then add the textures of a town or different shapes. Now, one thing that you'll find on canvas, or one thing I gave my students, is this thing called Roll a Masterpiece. I got it off, I think, Teachers Pay Teachers or something, but it has a bunch of different textures that you can use. If you want to play a game, you can roll a dice and roll it, and the first time use this texture somewhere, the second time use this texture somewhere, one of these textures somewhere. So you don't have to play the game, but if you want, you just this file on your on canvas will give you ideas for different textures that you can use, okay? And just so you guys have an idea of what it's going to look like, this piece was done by a student last year, so I did not do this one. She did a great job showing the cypress tree textures, the wind textures. She did a really great job. So this is kind of what we want it to look like in the end, okay? So now that I have my tree and my horizon lines, I also have a couple places where I want to show the wind, so I can do that as well, okay? I'm going to now get started painting my Van Gogh Starry Night, and then I will add oil pastel for the textures. Okay, now that I have painted the base coat of my Starry Night, I hope you saw in the video that these Marabou art crowns are kind of like an oil pastel. They're pigmented to where once I add water, the pigment will spread. So it's a kind of a mixture between, it feels like an oil pastel when you're coloring with it or when you're putting the pigment onto the paper, but then it works like watercolor or a watercolor pencil type thing where I add water and then I can spread that pigment on my paper. So that was perfect for this project because even though I have some of these texture lines within my paper, that's okay because I'm working with texture and I want to have those impressionistic type markings on my paper. Okay, so I'm going to let my paper dry, and then I can go in and add oil pastels. I can also darken and lighten things up with the textures that I add, the colors that I add through oil pastels. I could also go in with my brown or my black Marabou art crown and kind of darken up my sky or darken up my greens. I can go in with yellow to lighten up my greens if I want to make this brighter. Again, the final thing that you want it to look like is something like this. So I hope you guys enjoy doing your Van Gogh. I can't wait to see what they look like. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day.